what does he do? He says, "Show me the coin that pays the census tax." If these leaders, these Pharisees, messengers of the Pharisees and Herodians, had any sense in their heads, they would have, even if they had to lie, would have said, "What? You're insinuating that we actually have that horrible object in our possession? A coin with the image of Caesar on it? You know that we don't allow that kind of idolatry in our lives. For us, there is only one symbol, and that is that which represents God." If they had any sense, they would have said, "Jesus, we're insulted that you would think that we actually had that coin." But again, it's just so fascinating how Jesus worked with these characters. So then they handed him the Roman coin. Now, all the common people in this situation would no doubt have hissed and booed that these people, again, had this image of idolatry, that the image of Caesar on this coin, because the coins that were used in the Jewish realm did not have any images on them. So they handed him the Roman coin. Again, Jesus says, and then, my eyesight isn't quite, could you tell me whose image is this? That Jesus, and they said to him, they replied, "Caesar's." So again, if they didn't realize by now that, again, Jesus was not going to be shamed. He was going to remain rooted in the honor he had as God's beloved. And the only way we can imitate Jesus as fully as possible is to do our best not to be shamed, either by ourselves or by others. That we find ways to remain deeply rooted and convinced about our identity. And so at that, Jesus said to them, "Then repay to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and to God what belongs to God." Did Jesus really answer their question? No. He left it up to them to decide. Just as we look to the elections, we are called upon to decide out of our identity as God's beloved, very attentive to our conscience, very attentive to the Holy Spirit dwelling within us, that we would take responsibility for our divisions. But not only that, it was very clear that Jesus continued to speak of everything as belonging to God. And that's something particularly that we focus on today in terms of the proper care of everything that God has provided for us. That we see ourselves as a gift unto ourselves. We see each other as gifts that support each other in living the faith. That everything we have, our time, our talents, our financial resources, are all gift. In other words, everything is God's. And so when Jesus says, "Repay to Caesar what belongs to Caesar," again, the people would have said, if they had been at all attentive, wait a minute, Jesus, if everything belongs to God, how can anything belong to Caesar? So, again, it's just so amazing how in a few words Jesus could put all these challenges to people to say, take responsibility for your own decisions.